Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to make your builds better, and I'm also just going to show you how to get into blueprint designing in Theme Park Tycoon. First is how to find blueprints. Go to scenery and primitives, and now you have all of these different types of primitives that you can place. I would say the one I use the most is just this first primitive. If you have disabled collisions, it makes it a lot better because you can bring it from looking like this to something like this right here, where they're kind of spaced apart. How I did that is by doing this and putting it up and doing this with it. If you're wondering how to get into this mode, all you gotta do is, let me reset it for a sec. So you just opened up your blueprint tab. All you have to do is go to disable collisions. So with this in mind, you can make really cool custom paths that guests don't actually walk on. Something like this. You can either go in here and change the material and color in here, or you can just place it and then go in and click it and change the color and material, or you can also go to paint and change the color or material. For this one, I'm going to use asphalt, and I'm going to use this color, and it looks like this. I can also use this color. For asphalt, I would recommend any shade of white to black and gray, and really any color down here. You can also use these two. They are the same as these, but I do just like using these two. Just remember, these are the asphalt colors and concrete colors and all of that. I wouldn't recommend white. You can also go to concrete, which is way too bright for concrete. I will do either this one or this one. This one I really like because it is different from the already concrete path. But if you wanted to blend them together, you could just put it on this color, because these are the exact same color. And now that we have that, let's go ahead and make a simple entrance. So I'm just gonna go to primitives, and then I'm gonna place like a block like this. Now I'm gonna extend that up, but not too high because we don't want it to be too tall of an entrance. And then place stuff like this, and then make sure they're pretty close to being right together. This is stuff that you'll get better at the more you do it in this game. Now we're gonna do a cylinder like this. Perfect. Just like that. And then if it doesn't quite reach the end, just place it and then put this this blue one all the way to the end, and then you can extend it again like that. And now that we have this is the thing I really like about doing primitives, is you can literally do anything you want. If you want to have little ends on the end of them, then you can do that, and then turn it and make it a little thinner like that, and then extend it down a bit, and then I'll put one on the other side. Now I can go search for lights, get one of these, place it like that, and the other side, and now we have sort of an entrance, but it's still blue. So go back to that paint tool and paint it all the color that you want. I'm just gonna do a simple concrete mix kinda, and then some metal plates on the top. But this is like, you can customize it so much. This entrance does not look good, but you could make it look good. You see how it kind of looks like these concrete blocks are holding it? So that's just another thing that you can do. You can also make like buildings. I did this one really fast, so it's not good. And it didn't copyright, so just act like there's a triangle there. I'll actually go ahead and place that so I can show you guys. You can use a pick tool, or you could just find it. See, there's the first one right here. And then I just go over to triangles and pick one. And then once I pick one, I can put it where I want it. Use R to rotate it, or you can just come in here and do this. And then just shape the triangle. It's kind of hard with triangles, but once you do a lot of them, it's pretty easy. Then just make sure that this is right, and then you can place, and now you have a triangle, and it looks really good with the roof. If you're really wanting to be detailed with it, you can make the width so it matches the wall, kind of like that. So you would like make that shorter into the wall, and it would be perfectly flush with the wall. Painting is really important, especially the material, because if it was just all wood, it would look boring. This house already looks boring because I just speedrunned it. I did it as fast as I could. You can also just add some stuff with nature, like maybe if you're trying to make a fall theme park, like go to a tree like one of these, place it, and then you can just make it different colors, kinda. Like look at that. And then like maybe a yellowish kinda. But yeah, you can experiment with it a lot. So I'm gonna just do like a mix of like fall and almost done. So that's kind of a fall mix. If you want to like do a row of these, say, if you pick it, it also duplicates it. Just make sure to like turn it, and it will look better, just like this. And the cool thing, you can do that with any nature block. I haven't really experimented with the new nature things that are like better, I guess, than the last ones, like these, but I'll leave that to you guys if you wanna experiment with them. That's another thing I love with Theme Park Tycoon. Just try things until you like what you tried. Now that we know that, let's go on to some more advanced primitive placing. Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna go look for a pyramid. So pyramid, let's look for it. Okay, I just found the pyramid. Now I'm gonna place it, and you can make it however big you want. I'm using Shift plus these keys. I'm just gonna make it kind of like the biggest pyramid that I can make it. And this looks like it's the biggest. Now I'm gonna paint it a pyramid realistic color like this, and then I would say sand. Maybe? No. Well, we'll just go with it. I will make that a little darker because it's a little too light to be a pyramid. Or maybe I should just make it a sand color. Yeah, that's perfect. Now I'm gonna go into my big primitive that we can use for almost anything. Just like that. Now I'm going to align it perfectly like this. And I'm gonna do that all over the pyramid. And make sure you're switching the shape of the pyramid blocks. So just like that. So now I'm going to get a go-kart track. Okay, now that I have that, you kind of have a pyramid to drive around with your go-karts, and you can add on to this as much as you want. You can almost add anything. Like an example is just taking another primitive, and you can like say make a wall over here like this. Okay, so I'm done, and this is what it looks like. If I made it taller, it would be a little bit better, But if I made it taller, I could also make it curve over the track and come back down over here, and you would go through a sand tunnel. Or you could, and then you can, on top of that sand tunnel, place a mountain. There's so much you can do. Just, you gotta do a lot of work to do it. But once you do that, a lot of people will come to your park. A lot of people will like your park, and you will like your park. And if you're not trying to do as detailed a build, you can just copy and paste. Just don't do that with nature items, and try not to do it too much or your builds won't look as good. But I'm gonna do that around the pyramid. So that only took me like a minute, where if I just did around, it'd probably take me close to 7 minutes, which saves quite a bit of time, but it doesn't look as good as it would if you just put different blocks around the pyramid. Another thing is, don't overplace primitives in the same spot unless you actually know what you're doing and you're like 100% sure that that's what you want, because if you do too many, it ends up looking like Z-bugging, which means it looks like this, and I don't like that. But what I do to not have that is I go and change the height a little bit, because even this small of a height difference like disappears from the Z-bugging. Here, I'll show over here. So like this, a little bit down will place, and then a little bit down, and then right here, like there. And you can see there's still some Z-bugging on this side, so just a little bit in. And now you can place it, and there's no more Z-bugging. Next thing is on the go-kart track. I would like to make it kind of look like a sand place, not just a go-kart track, because that's kind of boring. So just like that, and then apply to all pieces. Okay, but that's it for the go-kart track. Of course, you could add some trees on the side, like this, just add them, just to make it look a little bit better. You can put this off to disabled and just place however you want. Make sure you're rotating them though, these kind of look bad. So yeah, just make sure you're rotating a lot. Or even like a fountain would be really cool. So go to terrain, water, we'll actually go to block manipulation, and then dig out the where, like how big you want your pond. Click fill water, and then go to whatever and say water, and then you can place them like this, angled towards your ride if you want. So just like this. That just adds a lot for the go-kart track, like that. And if you notice at night, this is very dark, so let's add some lighting. So we can either make custom lamps, or we can just make regular lamps. For this video, I'm just gonna do regular, because I don't want to have to place all of the lamps by hand. So just like that, I think that is the actual end of the go-karts. Let's go ahead and ride them. That's gonna be the end for today's episode. Please do subscribe, or consider subscribing. I'm only at 21 subscribers, and my goal is 100. And once I hit 100 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a 1,000 Robux giveaway to a random subscriber.